What is up, everyone? This is your buddy Chukatron, about to do another unboxing and review on one of the most controversial figures from our time right now. So this is a non-transforming Transformer called the Robot Enhanced Design. This is the first figure that I picked up, and I've passed on it maybe 4 times. I saw the figure, didn't want it, I was skeptical, but you know what? Something got me thinking. Way back in 2000-ish, 2002, there was a line from Takara called Superposable Figures, and it was a Transformers. And for those who know and was back there, we didn't have Masterpiece, we didn't have anything. If you could find a G1 Megatron, you were in a lot of luck, because the only thing you could get was like G2 and all the other weird brands of Megatron. You didn't get a real G1 Megatron, and the only one that you could get that kind of looked like him was this one. So for all you guys who are spoiled now, thank God you guys got a bunch of selection. You can get this figure, that figure, Masterpiece, MP, the first one, the second one, whatever. But back in the day, you got this stiffy right here. So this is what I had to deal with, and I remember not getting it. It was $20. 20 slaps in the face for that figure, and I really wanted it. It was really small, but I thought these figures were awesome because they were the closest thing I can get to a cartoon looking version of Megatron, Optimus Prime, and I really like these figures. Nowadays, these figures cost like 80 to 100 bucks. But anyway, we're gonna take a look at this one because this one represents, I think, it looks almost exactly like those figures, but a way better updated version. And just because of nostalgia's sake, I purchased it, and I said, you know what? Since I regretted not buying that figure 20 years ago, and it's 80 bucks now, and I can't get my hands on it, I'm just gonna get this one and redeem me because it does look way better than that one. So without further ado, if you're new to my channel, I wanna say thank you for just clicking on my video, taking the time out to take a look at it. I'll ask and recommend that you subscribe for more of my content. If you guys enjoy videos like this, hit it up. And if you do like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. I don't really care. And if you wanna stay in tune with the Chukatron channel, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can get updates on when I do videos and whatnot. So without further ado, let's take a look at this bad boy and see if it is more than meets the eye. So what I'm gonna start first of all is just taking a look at the actual packaging. So we'll get rid of these two guys. We'll take a look now at the box. So this is the box that just sticks out right in the aisle. So you see this big red cardboard here with this new design. We have a nice illustration of a very angry G1 looking Megatron right there, and about a third of the way we see the other half there with some glass shattering, and I think the illustration looks awesome. Megatron, yeah, he looks pretty good in the packaging. We notice him nicely displayed. On the top there we have the Transformers logo, and on the side here we notice that we do have the accessories. So we look like we have the battle mace he has, and he does have a few pairs of hands and another hand holding an Energon cube. So I do like this display. It looks really good. And on the back there we have the figure here holding the Energon cube, looking really sexy. I mean, look at him on those pictures there. Look at that, and then look at the figure. Yeah, they totally oversold you on these pictures. Now, I remember seeing the promos on this. I was like, oh, this is the craziest thing. But then when you look at the figure in the front, he's like, looks really weird. Look like Frankenstein almost. So there's a look at the back, and there's a quick look at the bottom. So now that we looked at the packaging, let's rip this thing open. So we'll just take a blade right here. We'll slice this bad boy open, and we'll get my first reactions. I think that's just it. Wow, that was pretty clean. Boom. So here's a look at the figure now with the inside clamshell, and I gotta say, it looks really good. It looks really good on the front, on the side, and on the back. Really cool. And when we take a look at the inside of the packaging, we notice that there's an etch of Megatron on the back of the cardboard. You can just pull that out and take a look at it. So this kind of looks like the blueprint of Megatron there, which kind of reminds me of the scene where Unicron scans Megatron when he's turning him to Galvatron, which is really cool. On the other side there's another clamshell right there, and that has the accessories. We notice we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 accessories. So there's a look at that. All right, guys, so here's a look at him out of the packaging. So first impressions, I think he looks really cool, you know, and I don't want to be, you know, completely negative about non-Transformer Transformer, but honestly, it looks pretty good. It's very, you know, iconic, very similar to the original G1 cartoon. If you look at it there, it looks really good from top to bottom. There's a look at him in the front there, on the side, on the back, and we notice it doesn't really have too much detail. This is more molded after the original cartoon than the toy, but I'm okay with it. I mean, I feel all right with it. Had I had this when I was a kid, I would have flipped out because it just looks so much like Megatron in the cartoon version. So we'll take a closer look. So I'll start off by taking a look at the head mold there. We notice he does have the nice bucket head right there, looking pretty good. On the back of it, we do have some nice detail of the lines, and I really can't complain too much about the head. We do notice some like swirls or something of the mold there, which is kind of annoying. The eyes and the head look good. It looks better out of the package than in the package because I thought it looked weird. Notice that mine, I have some like, I don't know, some lines are swirling there, I guess from the molds, but he has this really nice paint for his red eyes. I could probably make it better if I start painting around with it. The chest there, very iconic. This Decepticon logo looks pretty lame. I don't know, it just doesn't look like it's painted totally. Typical Hasbro QC issues. The bottom here there, the ab part, looks really good. Has some nice red paint there. And it feels like the texture of this figure kind of feels like a vinyl toy, but like more like solid. So it's a heavier figure, hefty figure. Let's go back to the design. The design on the stomach there looks all right. I mean, we do have some nice paint apps right there. That looks really good. I mean, it looks like G1 Megatron, man. The crotch area, we have no trigger there, but the crotch looks okay. It looks good. We do have these parts right here, which are kind of like flaps, very reminiscent to G1 Megatron. You have the flaps like that, just dangling around, and the legs look good. Very, bland, plain Jane. When we look at the bottom here, look at the inside of the feet. We do have some nice details, but there's nothing painted on them, minus this very light gray paint. The feet look okay. On the back here, we notice when we turn it around, the feet there on the back there is painted this really dull gray color. On the back there, we notice that he does have the back part of the barrel of his gun. It doesn't move or anything. It's just molded in there and I think like glued. But that looks great. It looks very similar to the original G1 cartoon. If we look at it there, if you haven't checked out my G1 Megatron review, you notice that this piece right there it's legit on the original G1 Megatron figure. That part there is the part that holds the arms. So if you see the review, I transform it and put that part in like that. So that's cool that that's actually there, which I kind of remember seeing in the cartoon as well. And when we look at the arms there, take a look at them. Very cool, very cartoony. I like the detail right there. It looks good. I like this little red paint that they added there. They could have just left it gray, but I thought it was a good idea that they painted it. Unfortunately, I kind of wish that they would have painted more of it. The hands look really good. Notice there, they're really nice. And I think it looks okay. We take a look at the other side there, the scope there on his arm. Looks really good. We notice the top there, the little bit of detail in there. We have that nice red piece there on the top. We notice that the part right here for the lens, we got some detail in there. And overall, it looks good. I mean, what else can you do? You can't reinvent that wheel of a scope. So on the inside here, we notice that there's no like hollowness or anything. It's just bloop, molded plastic. And overall, I gotta say, I do like this figure. So I'm kind of impressed by it. I get it's not a non-transforming transform, but as an action figure, I think they did a really good job at capturing Megatron here. So let's take a look at the articulation because this is the first that I have of its kind. So let's take a look at it. So let's start right off at the head there. We notice that he has like a double ball joint. So when we look at the neck, it actually has a ball joint on the bottom and on the top. So it kind of can pivot forward and back like that, kind of like a duck. It can rotate 360 degrees. It can tilt in these weird positions. So you can have it like that or in many different poses. And the more I'm playing with this, the more I'm starting to like it. So I see what they were trying to do here. So we look at the arms, they go about 90 degrees up like that, which that kind of looks kind of lame. The arms can rotate around 360 degrees. He does have the bicep swivel joint and the elbows can bend 90 degrees. You look at the hands there, they kind of have like some kind of pivoting feature, I feel, but the mold doesn't allow it to go too much. They can rotate 360 degrees. When we look at the waist here, it looks like we have an ab crunch joint, which is kind of awesome. So that can fold down about 45 degrees down, which I think is rad. You can have some like wicked looking down poses or whatever. That's really good. When we take a look at the waist, we can rotate it around 360 degrees. Legs can go out and in, almost Van Damme-ish, 180 degrees out like that. Can go forward and back, almost, yeah, about 90 degrees. He does have the thigh swivel joint. When we look at the knees right there, we notice that he does have double jointed knees, so you can bend them like that. And on the feet there, they can pivot like that. They can tilt a little bit left and right. So overall, great articulation. I think that was the real goal of this, detail and articulation. Kind of like a Marvel Legends in a Transformers version. So that's really cool. Let's see if we can get into some wicked poses. And for comparison's sake, before we do anything else, let's take a look at him next to his vinyl, the $5 vinyl figure from Walmart. So you notice they're about the same size. I'm kind of shocked. I thought he was going to be way taller, but he's almost the same size. Now that I have this Megatron, I kind of don't want this Megatron. I kind of like this guy, but he's good to like just toss around. But I'm so glad that they're giving us this very G1 cartoon Megatron, my favorite character. Next, what we will do is we'll compare him with the Earthrise War for Cybertron. Now look how big, War for Cybertron figure is compared to this one. So you're really losing size on that one, but I mean, almost for the same price, you might as well just go with the War for Cybertron figure. So there's a look at him there. Let's show him off now with the Siege Megatron, which is probably the same thing. Yep, same size as the Earthrise. So there's a look at that. Let's take a quick look now at the accessories. He does come with a few hands here. He does come with this one, which is kind of like a partially open hand. The next one up is a fisted hand right there. Really cool. What else we got? We got the pointed finger one. And then we got one that has an Energon cube molded into it. So if you look there, yeah, it's a hand just holding an Energon cube, which the Energon cube looks kind of cool, but kind of lame at the same time. I mean, it is what it is. And finally, we do have the Energon mace here. So you can have them there, and it's made out of this translucent, kind of like translucent, is purple plastic there. It doesn't really have too much like, it's not like flexible. It's a little bit molded, which I kind of get because the tip right here is heavy, and if it wasn't, it'd just be like dangling all weird. But I think it looks really good. We notice that the tip there has the spikes. It has the chains right there, and it has this point right here. And it looks like it has a ball joint that doesn't really rotate. So those are all the accessories. Overall, I do like the extra hands there. I want to see how tight this thing might be to replace. Oh, it just popped out. Awesome. That usually never happens. They pop right in. So that's really good. I'm very shocked at how easy they are to come in. So it comes with a few left hands. Actually, he only comes with left hands. He does not come with another right hand, which is kind of a bummer. Being that, yeah, they gave them all left hands. These are all left hands. So there's a look at that. Let's see how it looks with the mace. So, yep, slides pretty on there, which is kind of weird. I don't know. It kind of doesn't feel right in there, but whatever. Another thing I forgot to mention is that this does not come off. The scope on his arm is non-removable. Now, I'm pretty sure I can heat that up and just get it off because I'm pretty sure it's just glued on, but you can't remove that unless you want to kind of damage the figure. So there's a look at all those accessories. Overall, okay. I'm not excited about it. So there's my unboxing and review on the R.E.D. Megatron figure. Overall, a really nice display piece, and I think they captured the G1 essence of Megatron in his robot mode. However, being that it doesn't transform, it is a bit overpriced for the figure. So till next time, this is Chukatron signing out, saying peace, love, harmony, and God bless. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, chances are you'll enjoy another one. Hit the subscribe and notification bell for more Chukatron content.